Sa buhay man o sa playing court, game na tayo! Power and Play sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko. Para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na kung magpatalo. Ipag-iwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, Syempre, Sibay, Lakay, Amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino. Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy.
Masaya ang buong bansa sa muling pagkapanalo ng ating pambansang kupunan ng Gilas Pilipinas. Well, masaya din po kami dahil Sabado na muli. E di paano? Bago na! Power and Play na!
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat, mga kaibigan, mga kapatid, mga kapamilya. Nagbabalik po ang inyong paboritong kasama tuwing Sabado ng umaga. Ito po ang Power and Play. Atid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang Yerong May Aluminum, Cherry Tigo, it's fun to drive. Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. True religion, where passion meets power. And regrow. Regrow your confidence with Regrow. Of course, we are powered by Smart. Live Smart. Nagbabalik po tayo ngayon. Sana'y nasa mabuti kayong kalagayan. Yung mga suki natin sa Radyo 5, yung mga pauwi po sa kanilang mga bahay, yung mga nagsisimula pa lamang ng kanilang trabaho ngayong Sabado ng umaga. And of course, yung mga nakatutok po sa atin sa 1PH, on Signal TV at lahat po ng nanonood sa Facebook Live all over the world. Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Maganda ba ang gising ninyo? Maganda ba ang pagbangon natin ngayong umagang ito? May mga hangover pa yung iba dyan na talaga naman natuwa sa naging kaganapan kahapon sa laro po ng Gilas Pilipinas kontra Lebanon. Well, pinalo po natin ang Lebanon dun sa 6th window. Dito po ginanap sa ating bansa mismo, 107-96. At napakaganda ng ipinakita ng ating koponan. At yan po ay ating hihimayin mamaya. Napakaraming mga bayani, napakaraming bagong mukha na nakita natin, lalong-lalo na ang ating bagong kababayan na si Justin Brownlee na ngayon po ay naglalaro na bilang isa nating kababayan. And alam nyo, ito pong sistema ng FIBA, papunta po sa FIBA World Cup, kung saan tayo ang host, talaga namang nagpagulo, nagbigay ng konting kakaibang diskarte para sa mga opisyal ng basketball. Dahil ngayon parang, alam niyo na nangyayari ngayon, yung PBA conferences at yung mga UAAP, parang try out eh. Ang ating inaabangan ngayon yung mga sidelights katulad ng qualifier. At ngayon magkakaroon pa tayo ng PBA All-Star, maantala na naman yung PBA Governors Cup. Tapos meron pa yung EASL, yung pong East Asia Super League. Well, yan po ay magaganap naman next week kung saan iba't ibang mga bansa rin ang lalaban do sa kanilang Champions Week. At ang Pilipinas po ay may dalawang koponan dyan. Yung pong Token Texo, yung TNT Katropa, at yung pong San Miguel Beermen. Maglalaro din po dyan sa torneyong yan, yung Bay Area Dragons na nakita natin noong Commissioner's Cup. Well, mga kapatid, sila po ang ating makakasama mamaya sa ating panayam. Kasama po ng veteranong si Machine Gun Kelly Williams. Mamaya po nakapanayam natin siya tungkol sa mga kanyang mga thoughts about playing in the EASL and of course yung magandang takbo ng TNT Katropa Giga ngayon pong Governor's Cup. Nakapanayam din po natin ang dalawang players na maglalaro sa Bay Area Dragons. Yan po ay sina Andrew Nicholson, yung super import ng Dragons, at yung kanilang bagitong rookie na ngayon ay magiging Asian import na si Sedrick Barefield. Mamaya po ay ilalathala at ibabahagi nilang dalawa ang kanilang karanasan, hindi lamang dito sa paglalaro sa PBA, kung hindi ang kanilang paghahanda patungo sa EASL dyan po sa Okinawa, Japan. And then, of course, later on, yung naantalang interview natin with one of the Philippines' bright young athletes, ang speed skater na si Peter Groseclose sa ating In the Spotlight, ating pong ibibigay at ihahatid na sa ating second hour. So, marami po tayong huntahan ngayong Sabado ng umaga, kaya huwag po kayong bibitaw. Simulan na natin sa pamamagitan ng ating Sports Weekly Highlights.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Kagaya nga po ng nabanggit ko, masaya ang buong bansa sa pagkapanalo ng Gilas Pilipinas kontra Lebanon. 107-96. Dinomina ng Gilas ang Lebanon. Sa likod po ng 17 puntos ni Justin Brownlee, ang bagong kababayan natin na nagtala din po ng 4 na rebounds, 5 assists at 2 steals. Sinundan siya ng isa pa niyang kakampi sa Hinebra na si Jamie Malonza na may stat line na 15, 5, 3, 1, and 2. May dalawa pang sapal yun ha. At ang mga bagong mukha katulad ni Mason Amos na nagtala ng 13 points, 11 straight in the third quarter. Nandyan din po ang kontribusyon ni Jordan Heading, ni Dwight Ramos at ni Ray Parks na pare-pareho pong nagbigay ng 10 puntos. 17 3-point shots ang pinakawalan ng Gilas Pilipinas. Siyam sa ating mga player ay nakagawa ng kahit isa dun sa 17 3-point shots na yon. Ang Gilas ngayon ay may kartada ng 6-3 at 4 straight wins patungo sa kanilang susunod na laban sa Lunes kontra Jordan. Kasama sa mga nanood sa laban ng Gilas ang pinakabagong FIBA ambassador na si Carmelo Anthony. Opisyal nang ipinakilala bilang global ambassador si Melo. Makakasama ng NBA veteran ang kapwa niya basketball great na sina Pau Gasol at Luis Scola, kilala sa kanyang kontribusyon sa Team USA at ilang taong paglalaro sa NBA. Inaasahang mapapabilang sa Basketball Hall of Fame si Carmelo Anthony kapag opisyal na siyang nagretiro sa pro play. Sa PBA naman, kumpleto na ang Team Scotty at Team Japet para sa pagbabalik ng PBA All-Star Games. Matapos ang botohan, pumili ng kani-kanilang players, sina Scotty Thompson at Japet Aguilar. Top pick ng Team Scotty ang kanyang mga kabarangay na si Christian Stan Hardinger. Kasama nila sa kupanan sina CJ Perez, Calvin Abueva, Robert Bolick, Arvin Tolentino, Kevin Alas, Jason Castro, Stanley Pringle, Marshall Lassiter, Mark Baroka at James Yap. Number 1 pick naman ng Team Japet si San Miguel Beerman Junmar Fajardo. Makakasama nila sina Jamie Malonzo, Chris Newsom, Roger Pogoy, L.A. Tenorio, Mikey Williams, Paul Lee, Jeremiah Gray, Gian Mamuyak, Nards Pinto at Terence Romeo. Ngunit posibleng hindi makapaglaro sina Mikey at RR dahil sa injury. Sa collegiate volleyball, simula na ng hampasan sa UAAP Season 85 Volleyball Tournament ngayong araw na ito. Favorite sa women's tournament ang defending champions NU Lady Bulldogs. Nagbabalik naman pagkalipas ng 3 taon ang men's tournament. Ipatutupad din ang pagbabalik ng challenge system sa second round ng torneo. Update naman sa paparating na EASL. Gaya nga ng nabanggit natin kanina, alanganin din maglaro sa EASL Week sina RR Pogoy at Mikey Williams. Parehas kasing may iniindang injury ang dalawang manlalaro. Bone bruise kay Pogoy at ankle injury naman kay Williams. Good news naman para sa TNT Tropang Giga dahil pahinga muna sila sa PBA Governors Cup hanggang All-Star break. At yan po ang buod ng ating mga balita sa Sports Weekly Highlights. Again, congratulations sa ating Gilas team. Pambihirang paglalaro, and we're now hoping, of course, na magpatuloy ito hanggang Monday. Of course, ito ay mga non-bearing na sapagkat pasok na po tayo sa World Cup. Pero ang ating gusto makita dito talaga ay ang kung paano mag-gel at paano na maglaro ang ating koponan. By the way, doon po sa mga nag-aabang ng Pulso ng Bayan, this week medyo wala tayo munang pupulsuhan. So, tuloy po tayo kagad naman doon sa ating linggo-linggong pamimigay ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Ito po ang Joyride Super App Top Up promo sa Power and Play. Napakadali po para sumali. I-download lamang ang latest version of the Joyride Super App. Kuhanan ng screenshot ng app's home screen kasama ng inyong pangalan. Send the screenshot po sa Power and Play Facebook page via private message. Isama nyo po ang inyong pangalan at registered mobile number at kami po'y pipili ng 5 sa katapusan ng show na mananalo ng 1,000 pesos JR Pay wallet credits. Magagamit nyo po sa delivery ng Joyride, sa motorcycle taxi at sa Joyride car. Yan po ang Joyride Super App Top Up promo. Alright, mga kapatid, ready na tayo dahil marami tayong makakapanayam ngayong araw na ito. At simulan na natin ang ating huntahan sa Power and Play sa ating paboritong Fast Take.
Power and Play with Tom Noli Iyala.
At ang Fast Take ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. It's fun to drive. At ngayong araw pong ito, ako'y masaya sapagkat ang ating pong makakasama, dalawa pong hindi ko pa nakaka-feeling dito sa Fast Take. Sila po ay mga first-timers dito pero talaga namang excited ako dahil I'm sure marami pong may babahagi sa atin ang dalawang ito. Mga PBA analysts, and of course, one of them is a very, very close player to me dahil siya po ay nakasabay ko. Hindi lamang po sa PBA kung hindi sa kanyang paglalaro noong pang-college. Walang iba kung hindi ang ating PBA analyst, si Coach Eric Reyes at si Isaac Go. Wow! Magandang araw, Coach Eric and Isaac. Thank you for joining us ngayong araw na ito.
Magandang
Thank you
araw.
for having us.
Yes, also hi to Isaac over there.
Hi, Coach.
Alam mo, unang-una, ito gusto ko muna ito klaruhin Isaac, analyst ka na pala. Ako'y natutuwa. Ito ba, primary ano mo na ba ito? Trabaho o ano lang to? Pampalipas ng panahon?
Hindi naman pero parang I think, syempre dahil nawala na yung basketball, parang hinahanap ko pa rin. And I think it's a one way for me to still stay connected to the game and get familiar with the young ones naman. Syempre, since detached na sa college, parang I still have to stay in tune and learn the names of people, meet them. Parang lang, it's a ibang, parang I can approach the game in a different way na. Still stay attached to it.
Well, of course, it will always be, you're always welcome. I'm sure si Coach Eric will say the same thing to the family of sports analysts. Pero, syempre marami ka pa rin fans na nag-aabang sa'yo na makita ka pa rin sa basketball court. Coach Eric, I haven't seen you in a long time. Congratulations on your newest baby. Mukhang, ano ba to? Girl or boy, Coach Eric?
Baby girl.
Baby
Number
girl.
5. So, starting
Wow.
5 na ako. 2 babae, 3 lalaki. So,
Yun!
isang former lady spiker na pwedeng pang volleyball na ngayon nagsusportscasting na rin. And of course, my 3 boys ang sasundan doon. 2 na nahilig na rin sa basketball. Tapos nga, ito yung baby girl, yung bunso.
I'm sure abangan na ng mga scouts yung mga anak mong lalaki, and of course itong bagong baby girl, may malay mo isa na namang volleyball player in the making. But you know, the Reyes family is always into sports. Before I get to Fast Take, pinag-uusapan ko kanina ang napakagandang performance ng Gilas kontra Lebanon. I want to get your takes on this first. Coach Eric, I'll start with you. what was the biggest takeaway for you dun sa laban ng Gilas kontra Lebanon?
Well, the best part about it is we were able to discover new faces. You've seen Justin Brownlee there. Nakita natin si Amos was also doing good. Jordan Heading also did very well. And I like the cohesiveness of the team considering that they come from various leagues. Aside from that, I'm very much impressed with the passing, the ball movement. Yung speed nila really was a factor considering that we didn't really have our regular bigs. And of course, the three-point shooting, that to me is very important in international competition.
17 threes, Isaac, ang nakuha ng ating team. Of course, sinasabi nga nila, naka-14 din naman ang Lebanon. But still, 17 threes is very impressive. But when you talk about this team, sabi nila undersized daw to dahil dadalawa lamang ang actually ang malaki dyan with Junmar Fajardo and Mason Amos, of course, Justin Brownlee. Do you think that having a team that can shoot will compensate kahit na medyo kulang tayo sa malaki, Isaac? Dahil ikaw, you're a big man that can shoot the three. Kombinasyon.
So, okay, but I think number one is lumabas na yung heart, yung puso na no matter what's the situation, whether mas malaki, mas mabilis, mas matangkad, mas magaling, may puso na eh. And, we've seen the format na that, like example, the Golden State Warriors, they're aiming to play smaller, but take advantage with speed, with hustle, with three-point shooting na there's still ways to compensate. And that's the beauty of basketball na no one blueprint guarantees you a win. So there's always many ways to win. There are different ways to play.
Before I go to the fast take issue, ito talaga, huli kong tanong tungkol sa Gilas. After the performance of Justin Brownlee, a very impressive performance, of course. Hindi naman sila natulak dahil ang Lebanon did not come with their top team, no? Having already qualified as well. But marami ngayong nagsasalita sa social media na dahil nga si Justin Brownlee is already very much kumbaga embedded here at kilala niya yung mga player, he's a better fit than Jordan Clarkson. What's your take, Coach Eric and Isaac? I'll begin with you, Eric.
Yeah. Malaking bagay talaga yung presence ni Justin because he is very much, as you said nga, he has been here for so many years. He's won championships. He knows the culture very well. Ilang balik na siya. Of course, Coach Tim is also part of that Gilas Pilipinas coaching staff. So that in itself, even Coach Tim said before, sabi nila, mamimili sila either a younger Jordan Clarkson or even a Justin Brownlee. Iba pa rin kasi yung presence ng Justin Brownlee because it was clearly seen tonight. And he plays defense, he gets rebounds, even defends bigger players. So that in itself is very much a welcome development because what we want is really teamwork. We will never want to see anyone single-handedly carrying our team. Of course, Clarkson is a very talented and athletic player. Hope we wish nga na sana payagan na siya ng Gilas maging regular at hindi na naturalized. Para talagang, there's so many out there who are supposed to be talagang half, like may dugong Pilipino talaga. And dapat nga yun yung pinapayagan nilang maglaro. Kaso, because whatever rules, hindi natin pwede yung ganon, no? But having said that, we're seeing a lot of great talent all over the world, part Filipino, na talaga nagpapakita ng maganda dito sa ating Gilas Pilipinas. So that in itself will be big, especially when you have a leader in Justin Brownlee with so much experience and the familiarity with the Filipino style of play.
Isaac, same question. Brownlee or Clarkson?
I think Coach Eric mentioned it na it depends on what identity and what kind of team does the coaching staff feel and that would be the best to perform out there because it has to start with that. What's the vision of the coaching staff? What's the vision of the SVP of Gilas na this is the team we're going to walk out with on the floor in a couple of months. Whether it's Brownlee or Jordan Clarkson, each have their own respective strengths and weaknesses na eh. So I think it has to begin with that. And I don't think it can go wrong with either of the choice. It's like A and A. Either way, it's a good choice. So you really can't go wrong, and it really just depends what direction do they want to go with.
It's a tough question, pero alam mo dito sa akin, sa Power and Play, we answer the tough questions. Ako, I'll go straight. I'm going Justin Brownlee. I mean, Clarkson is an NBA caliber. He's good for marketing. But at the end of the day, you want the guy who can play defense. I think Brownlee can defend the bigger player. I think he's a more versatile player. Kilala niya yung mga player na kasama niya. I think if it's a matter of choice, I'll go with Brownlee. Ganun talaga, ganun ang labanan. Pero sabi nga ni Eric, sana ipayagan na pati si Clarkson maging local. That would be the best. Of course, it also depends sino magiging katandem niya. Kung si Junmar is there, maybe we can go with Brownlee. Kai Soto's coming in. So again, many combinations. But kung 1:1, I'm going out on a limb. I'll go Justin Brownlee anytime. 7 days a week, including holidays. All right. Let's go to our fast take of the day. Itong fast take, gentlemen, is very simple. We throw the issue, isang sagot in 1 minute. And walang tama, walang mali. Pato-pato sa langit, tamaan, huwag magagalit. And of course, isa lang ang opinion na mahalaga, yung sa inyo. So we'll begin with the first fast take issue of the morning. Ito ay tungkol sa kababasag lamang na record ni LeBron James ng NBA all-time scoring record. Ang tanong, sino kayang NBA player, present or future, ang maaaring makabasag naman ng scoring record ni LeBron James? I'll begin with you, Eric. 1 minute, go!
Well, right now, ang nakikita ko yung this French player, his name is Wembanyama. He's very tall, he's very versatile with his style of play, and he's young. So, kailangan kasi dyan, kaya naman na-break din ni LeBron yung record because he started in the NBA at a very young age. I'm not really sure about Kareem's age when he started, but to me, a great scorer and a consistent scorer with that dominance of height, that boy probably has a good chance of doing it. Of course, he has to stay healthy the way LeBron James stayed healthy.
Excellent point. Alam mo, marami nagtatanong, sino po si Victor Wembanyama? Abangan nyo. Mapapanood din nyo. He's listed as 7'5", but he has handles like a guard and can shoot like a wing. Talagang grabe po yung player na binanggit ni Coach Eric. Same issue, Isaac. Sino sa tingin mong NBA player, present or future, ang maaaring makabasag ng scoring record na hawak ngayon ng The King? 1 minute, Isaac. Go!
I will go with someone who's currently playing in the NBA, and it will have to be Luka Doncic. You saw the pace, you saw the trajectory. He's actually somewhat on pace with what LeBron is doing, and we see his style of play doesn't involve a lot of athleticism, doesn't involve a lot of fancy moves. It's getting a bucket and getting it effectively. Now, it's great to be seen if he stays healthy, but in his past few years, he stayed relatively healthy and consistent. And remember, sinasabi pa, wala pa siya sa kondisyon because nag-i-enjoy pa talaga siya. So what happens when he hits year 5, 6, or 7 na talagang that switch is flipped that, okay, I'm gonna go after this?
Well, great choice, great choice. Luka Doncic is a guy that we know can score, is capable of doing that. He's now the leading NBA scorer. Pero syempre, again, that will all depend on their health, on their team's the composition, and of course, at the end of the day, it will also depend on a lot of luck. But I'll go. I agree with the two of you. I also think that maybe Giannis, if he stays healthy, I think he's got a chance to also become one of the top scorers in the NBA. All right, let's go to our second issue of the morning. Naku, maganda to. Alam naman natin ang mga bagong coaches ang pumasok sa PBA. Nagpalit ng coach ang San Miguel, nagpalit din ng coach ang Talk and Text, dalawang flagship teams ng San Miguel at ng PLDT Group. So ang tanong, sino sa mga bagong head coaches ang mas may pressure na manalo ngayon, to win now sa kanilang koponan? Si Coach George Gallant o si Coach Jojo Lastimosa? I'll begin with you, Isaac. 1 minute, go!
Akala ko si Coach Eric Moone, but I think for me...
Thank you, Noli.
And I would have to say Coach Jojo Lastimosa because, number one, inheriting a Talk and Text team that is getting up there in age with Jason Castro, Ryan Reyes, Kelly Williams hitting the prime by the tail end of their careers, they're still effective and efficient, but you see ages coming up na you have to maximize the last few years you have left. And especially na they did win a All-Filipino Cup, I think, in the bubble. There's that pressure again to repeat and to win another one. And now they also brought in Rondy Hollins Jefferson. So they're going all in to win another title.
Well, maganda yan. Maganda yung sinabi mo dahil talagang yung mga player na binanggit mo, may mga edad na. Kaya parang importante na talagang mapanalo na yan. Not for Jojo, but for those players na binanggit mo. Eric, same question, Coach. Sino sa tingin mo among these new head coaches ang mas may pressure to win now? George or Gilas? 1 minute, Eric. Go!
I'd love sana to copy Isaac's answer pero wala na talaga, medyo maiba naman ako for the I'd go actually sa tingin ko lang pareho silang may pressure kasi when you enter the life of a coach, wala nang katapusan yung pressure niyan. There will always be pressure in anything you do or whoever you hold on, especially with both the dynasties that we're talking about. But sige, in this discussion, I'd go with Coach George Gallen. The thing with Coach George is, of course, itong si Coach, nakasama na niya dati si Coach Leo Austria. So that in itself is a pressure with the record of Coach Leo, what he has done already for the Beermen, considering that they have Junmar Fajardo. So I think there's always pressure on George with the way he'll be handling, and he still has the 6-time MVP in his lineup.
Well, that is a very significant thing. Having a 6-time MVP, I think gives him more chances. Pero tama kayong dalawa. Talagang para silang nasa kumukulong tubig ngayon na pinapalambot. Dahil sabi nga nila, mag-ingat ka sa hihingi mo. The more rope you ask for, the higher your chances na maibibitin ka gamit yung lubid na yon. So, I wish them all the best. But of course, sa akin, ang mas may pressure ngayon, si Coach Chito Victorero. Matanggal ka rin, ha? All right, let's go to our third and final issue of the morning. Ito ay tungkol sa parating na PBA All-Star Game na namili yung Team Scotty at saka Team Japet. But before that, naging popularity contest yung sistema sa pagpili ng mga na ilalagay dun sa All-Star Pool. At ang tanong, sangayon ba kayo sa sistema na fans ang pipili ng players para sa PBA All-Star Games? I'll begin with you, Coach Eric. 1 minute, go!
Hindi pwede si Isaac mauna. Well, ako, I was thinking about it a while ago on who's going to, ano yung mas maganda. Pero para sa akin, it's a fans game. Especially the All-Star Game wherein you all have the best players. Yes, it may sound like a popularity contest, but in this case, yung mga pinili ng fans, talagang magagaling naman ng mga players yan. So, and they have already proven themselves. Even Gian Mamuya, who's really a future superstar of the PBA with the way he's been playing as a rookie. So, para sa akin, okay na rin na yung fans ang pumili para at least makita rin natin na after nila pumili ng mga players, yung mga dating magkakampi, magiging magkalaban sila ngayon. Katulad ni Scotty, kalaban ni si Japet, and so forth.
Alright, well, that's straightforward answer, especially coming from Eric na dating all-star din ito kaya marami na rin nasalihan ito ng mga ganyan. Alam natin how also popular Eric came when he came in from the Ateneo, talaga namang marami rin ang sumunod sa kanya. Isaac, same issue. Sangayon ka ba sa sistema ng fans ang pipili ng mga players? Dahil ikaw, maaari ka rin mapili, tandaan yan, para sa PBA All-Star Games. Isaac, 1 minute, go!
Syempre naman, nagsangayo rin ako, Viz, na boto naman ako sa rookie, sophomore, juniors game. And I think you've seen it every year naman, kahit sa NBA na like guys like Taco Fall, Andrew Wiggins, Alex Caruso, yung mga fan favorites talaga, binoboto talaga. And it's a way na to engage the fans, keep them connected with the game. And even in the NBA, every year may snubs talaga, bis hindi naman ilan lang talaga malalagay mo in an All-Star game. Maybe na yun na if people feel like na certain players getting snubbed, why not do what the NBA adopted now, which they have, or what other leagues are doing, may weighted voting. So the fans get the vote, but at the same time, coaches, players may also have a say. Para wala nang silang sasabihin, oh, di ako sikat, ganito. Para, or it just avoids that. But at the same time, I agree with Coach Eric. It's a fans game. So of course, the fans, there's a reason why they get voted. They want to see them play.
Well, I totally, want to second that because alam niyo po, ang All-Star Game, talagang para sa fans yan. Wala tayong magagawa dyan. At mahalaga kung ano ang kanilang boses dyan. At sa totoo lang, and I know Eric will agree with this, marami yung PBA superstars, minsan ayaw maglaro sa All-Star Game. Kasi gusto nila magpahinga. That's a chance for them to rest and really take advantage of that long weekend. But they play because it's for the fans. Ang sana sa akin lang, kasi ito naging criticism to dahil ang dami daw galing lamang sa Ginebra, halimbawa, or the San Miguel Group. Sana may limit to a certain number of players ang isang team para magkaroon din ng opportunity naman ang ibang mga magagaling na player from non-popular teams na makasali sa All-Star Game. In other words, parang merong default na pwede magpasok ang PBA. But again, at the end of the day, it's what makes the fans happy na dapat ang mahalaga. Gentlemen, again, this was terrific. I enjoyed my talk with you. Sana hindi to ang kahuli-hulihan, Coach Eric and Isaac, and I really hope to see you one day in the games again. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Com.
Yeah, thank you, Nolly. Thank you so much. Anytime, call me anytime if you need me in the show.
Thank you so much. Mga kaibigan, PBA analyst, Coach Eric Reyes, and of course, from Terra Firma, Isaac Go. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Well, mga kapatid, bago tayo magpatuloy, syempre, pasok muna natin ating mga paalala mula sa ating mga kaibigan sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Giga Life app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Giga Life app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live smart! And when we come back, more of your favorite Saturday morning show. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng True Religion.
I dare to dream big, to be a voice of my generation, to inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours with Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day. Plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to Go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Food Panda.
At nagbabalik po ang Power and Play ngayong Sabado po. At ngayon po tayo mapalad na ating makakasama ang isang tao na huli ko nakausap just after he unretired and went back to the TNT Tropang Giga. He is, of course, a 7-time PBA champion and a former league MVP. Walang iba kundi ang ating iniidolo at, of course, true gentleman on and off the court. Walang iba kundi si Machine Gun Kelly Williams. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you so much for taking time out in your very busy schedule.
Yeah, no, Kamish, thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, you know, I was talking about the last time I spoke to you, which was really after you unretired, so to speak, when Coach Shot asked you to come back. How has it been so far, Kelly? Any regrets on unretiring and playing again?
I wouldn't say regrets. There's been it's been mostly great. A lot of challenges, obviously, with it's a little different when you're 40 plus, playing with these younger guys and trying to keep up. But it's really been it's been a great resurrection of my career and just this chapter of my life. Just the experiences on and off the court have been amazing for me.
Well, it's been an amazing return, of course, a comeback, and of course, an amazing Governor's Cup so far for your team, for TNT. And despite your very difficult schedule, and of course the many injuries that your team has suffered from some of these players, you're doing very well. You're at the top of the team standings. You've got a win streak going here. Kelly, what has been the key so far for the performance of the Tropang Giga?
Yeah, Kamish, I think a big part of our, we'll call it success this conference, was just how miserably we did last conference. And I think that was a bit of a motivation. I can't remember a time where I didn't make the playoffs. And so that was a tough one to swallow coming out of last conference, as well as all of the distractions and obstacles that we'd had to go through with injuries, with guys in and out, with just all the things going on. We learned a lot about ourselves as a team and as an organization altogether, I believe. And we took a lot of those lessons out of that and brought them into this conference. And as I'm sure Coach Gilas has told you, there's still a long way for us to go as a team and things that we need to improve on. But I've been saying all year, if we can learn these lessons and take our lumps while winning, then that's great. So we'll take this record all day, but there's still a lot that we need to learn and improve on as a team.
You mentioned a while ago that you have to go up against this younger, even stronger guys now at your age, at the young but ripe age of 41. Happy birthday, by the way, Kelly. A belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
Celebrated your birthday.
Thank you.
But it's no longer unusual. You got a lot of 40-year-old and up guys playing in the league and doing very well. You've got Arwin Santos, you've got James Yap, you've got Rafi Reeves, we even saw Asi Taulava, of course, and many more who are playing even beyond their 40s. So how are you keeping up? How are you keeping up with these young guys, Kelly?
Well, first of all, I think it's a mental thing, and I think all of those guys that you mentioned will say it as well. I definitely don't feel 40, and I think a lot of that starts with me not thinking about aging, but more of just keeping myself in shape, keeping myself active for a greater purpose than even just basketball. I think it's for the past several years. For myself, it's been more of trying to instill habits and just a lot of positive things to make them a lifestyle and a lifelong, just lifelong habits. And I believe they've just helped me in my career. It's kind of a bonus.
Well, yeah, it's certainly showing right now. Whatever secret formula you have, obviously should be patented, and I think a lot of the PBA players would like to buy that. You know, another thing that talking about buying, another thing that obviously you guys in TNT have bought into is this new system or whatever is being implemented by Coach Jojo Lastimosa. Of course, he's taken over in the interim from Coach Shot. Kelly, Coach Jojo, of course, is a legend. He's a former Rookie of the Year. He's a multi-titled player. What do you like about Coach Jojo now that he has taken over the helm?
Well, I think, like you said, Commish, Coach, I still call him boss, but Coach Jolas is he's the player. He's been there. He's been in our shoes. He's experienced everything that we're now experiencing. So I think it's made the transition for him into coach and building the relationships between him and us as players a bit, I guess, easier. Yeah. He'd been around. He's established somewhat of a rapport as team manager over the past year. Right. And now sliding into coach position, it's different, but again, him having been a player and experienced these things kind of makes it a bit easier to bridge any kind of gap. Like I said, there's still a lot of things for them as coaching staff to work on, and we have our work cut out for us as players to help bridge any kind of gaps.
Another key factor, and I guess everyone knows this, in this TNT surge is the import that you have, and you had. Jalen Hudson started it for you, and now it is Ronde Hollis Jefferson. Let me ask you about RHJ. Describe the guy for us. How is he as a teammate, and how has he really, influenced the team right now?
I think it helps with Ronde that he's very vocal, and he's really straight to the point with what he sees, what he expects on the court, and he just thinks the game. You've seen him play a few games now. He just sees the game differently. He's throwing passes that we're not used to seeing. Just his timing. He's definitely an NBA caliber player, and just his skill and his mindset and his approach to the game has been very enlightening to the team. But I'll also say, Commish, even with Jalen, he scored a lot for us, and he was a big presence offensively. But he also was a very vocal, important, and he did great with the time in the games that we had, especially early on. I think it was a bit tougher for him because we were still trying to figure ourselves out as a unit. And so he was put in a tough spot to try to help steady the boat, so to speak, in his position. So I appreciate what Jalen was able to do. And we didn't know what we were getting in from with the change with Ronde. We changed him out at, I think we were 5-1.
Yeah.
And that's always a gamble and a risk, but obviously it's definitely, right? So but it's been it was a successful gamble.
It looks like your team is complete. You got the guy, the import that you need. Obviously, you've got a lot of young guys coming up now. Mikey, Calvin, R.R. Pogo is injured, but he obviously will come back. Do you like the way the team is built, composed right now, and you think you have everything that can bring you back to the finals?
Right now, yeah, I do. My biggest concern personally is I think it's the same as most of the guys on the team, and that's getting guys healthy.
Yeah.
All the playoff runs that I've been a part of, that's always been the emphasis and the priority, making sure we're healthy going into the playoffs, because a healthy TNT in most of the years that I've been here, a healthy TNT is a dangerous one. So, if we can get Coy back, we can get Ryan back, Roger will be back soon. Mikey even got injured last game. So if we can get guys healthy going into this final stretch and into the playoffs, I think we have a really good shot at something special.
Well, it's certainly looking that way. You're taking a bit of a break right now because of the preparations for the EASL. So let me ask you about that. You are the team is going to represent the country in the inaugural Champions Week of the East Asia Super League. Do you like the concept? Do you like the concept of the EASL, Kelly?
I will be 100% honest with you, Commission. Say I don't even understand what's happening with the EASL. I can even pronounce. I don't even know the acronym, but
the acronym.
I just know that there's a lot on the line, and there's games to play, and there are some tough teams that we'll be up against. So again,
and I guess that's really my question, Kelly. Do you think that a tournament within a tournament is putting too much on the players? Do you think this particular experiment, even in the scheduling, with all of that's happening, not only in the PBA but in FIBA and the windows, now you put in the EASL, is it too much for the players?
I've honestly felt over the years, Commish, that just with the PBA, how we're set up is a bit much on the players physically. Especially if you're one of the top teams who go deep into the playoffs, conference after conference. It's almost a bittersweet gift and a curse if you're a good team, because you end up going deep into the playoffs, which is great and what you want, but then that means you'll have a shorter break coming into the next conference. And for many years now, we've had this 3-conference season, which again means if you make it to the playoffs every conference, then you're basically going year round. And what I've heard over and over again over the last 16 years is just how physically unhealthy that is for the body. So I think we as players have a very unique responsibility that most don't have to deal with, and that's how do you keep your body in elite shape and play at a high level and give your all every conference and not get injured. It's a tough job. It's a tough thing. So now you throw in EASL, which is it's cool. It's awesome. It's a great thing. It's a great experience. But when you look at it, which is how I look at it from a physical toll standpoint, it's also another gamble.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you remember, during my time, I tried to reduce the conferences to 2, which I did. And, that's precisely the reason, because I felt the toll on the body of the players was too much. And I felt that, players could play better if they were given more rest and maybe prolong their careers. But, again, that's for another story. But let me ask you about, your Gilas call-up. I know you've mentioned this already, that it's just a call-up. It's just being part of the pool. But, obviously, after so many years in the league, Kelly, after serving the national team so many times, what does this mean for you at age 41?
It's playing for the national team is always and will always be the greatest honor for me. When I look back at my career, playing for the national team and representing the Philippines will be at the pinnacle for me. And being asked to, now you're talking about being called, regardless of, the circumstances which led to me being called up. There's a lot of good players in the Philippines, a lot of great young talent. So for my name to come up in the midst of these circumstances, for me personally, is amazing. I think any player wants to be appreciated and recognized for the things that they do, and for it to happen at this stage of my career, of my life, is almost unheard of. So,
well, you're only 41 once, Kelly, so it's really going to be a new experience for you. But talking about that, you've been in the league for so long, and you've seen everything. You've seen, how the game is developed, not only in terms of your team, but also in terms of the PBA. What do you think has been the biggest difference from the time you started in the league up to now?
Well, let's not overlook the fact that it was you who called my name on the stage of my draft.
I remember
in 2006. Yeah. No, the biggest difference between then and now. There's so many differences. That was almost 2 decades ago. The mentality, the approach, I think, is one of the greatest differences for me now, that's allowing me to be able to still play at a competitive level, at a respectable level for myself. I had a lot of things going on in my life, adjusting to marriage at the time, and just all the differences and things going on, circumstances, dealing with the health issues, dealing with so many things. And I think because of those things, going through the divorce, going through still and not having my kids with me, finding ways to optimize my body and my mind in order to play game after game and perform even in practice, it's allowed me to raise my level of play and my optimize my life in a way that I couldn't have even imagined when I stepped on the stage draft day 2006, right? So, the mentality, the approach.
Yeah. But in terms of your own role, Kelly, I noticed, for instance, that you're shooting more 3-point shots now. You're shooting, and in fact, you're shooting it in a great clip, 47%. Last I checked, in terms of your statistics in the Governor's Cup. And obviously, that's not the strength of your game when you started. You were a powerhouse. You were just a wrecking machine. You were a tornado. You could just you had that power just to get into the lane. But now you're shooting more threes. You're stretching the floor. Do you like the evolution of your game, Kelly?
I think that's the natural progression when you get older and your legs don't want to do the things that you wanted to do all the time. Don't get me wrong, I have my days where my legs are like,
I know,
to explode. But I think for myself, that's just something I'm a little more conscious of, because I'd much rather play 25, 30 minutes of efficient basketball than 10 or 15 minutes of I may give you something hard that go all out and be gassed by the end of it. So but I do I love where my game is right now, and I said this recently, that there's still a lot. It may sound foolish, but there's still a lot in me that I feel hasn't even come out yet. So that's kind of my personal goal, is to, by the time I finish playing, by the time my career ends, I can say that I really put it all out and did it, and just got it all out of the basement, like Rocky says.
When you look at the things that's happening now in the basketball scene, what is your take on for instance, on the free market concept, when players can leave and they can decide now, free agencies there? What is your take about players leaving for abroad, or players demanding trades?
I think it's a good thing. I think it's good to allow players to go and have an experience outside of the Philippines. I believe, and giving them the freedom and welcoming them back if it doesn't work out abroad, because the experience that they have there will only make them better as players, and which will benefit the Philippines in the end, whether it's as a national team player or in the PBA. So I think that is a good thing. At the end of the day, these players are trying to get the best for themselves and for their families, and that's really all you want.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, demanding trades and things like that, you know, I believe there should be a degree or a level of power for the player, since they are more or less they're the product, right? They're the ones out there. It's hard for me to say because I'm not a demand a trade kind of guy. I'm a pick and stick. I do that with my crypto. That's what I do with my with my stock investments. No, but I do believe there should be a level of
a balance.
That.
I
Balance,
guess
definitely.
There
should be a balance,
right?
And in a way that's fair for both the player and the organization.
And now you have your own boys that may one day follow your footsteps, or at least will have the skills of their dad to play professional basketball. Would you encourage your kids to take the same path you took?
If I want them to succeed, I would make sure they don't take certain paths that I took.
That's a good way to put it.
Off court. As far as basketball, you know what, Kamish? Like, I don't have to encourage my boys to play basketball. I've never had to push basketball. It's in them. And so now my sons, being 13 and 10, they're both playing in leagues now. They just texted me, like, they have practice tonight, and a lot of our conversations revolve around techniques and mentality, approach, and they love the game. They really love the game, and both of them at their respective ages are light years beyond where I was at their age, talent-wise. So now I feel like my role as dad and my experience is to share with them the mentality that will take them to the next level. I was talking to my youngest today, and he said, I asked him, what's your goal? I asked him, what's your goal with basketball? Yeah. And he looked me straight face. I want to make it to the NBA. It's like, all right. So we had a conversation around that, right? So they're hungry and they're serious about it. So we'll see what happens. But don't be surprised if you hear their names come up in the near future.
Oh, yeah. In about maybe 7 to 10 years, you'll hear Kelly Williams, a Williams boy from his father, Kelly, a pro, being called in the NBA draft. What a moment that will be.
That would be amazing.
Let me leave it at that, because I've run out of time here. But Kelly, it's great to talk to you. I wish you all the best. I'm not going to ask you when you're going to retire again, because I do not want you to retire anymore. I just want to see Kelly Williams flying on the court as long as possible. Thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us.
Thank you, Kamish. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a great one.
Yan po mga kaibigan, ating kaibigan, si Kelly Williams. Again, just an amazing athlete, an amazing leader, but more than that, an amazing gentleman, both on and off the court. I was with him when he was drafted. I had a chance to be with him even with the national team, and he's just a terrific person. Anyway, bago tayo po mag-break, silipin muna natin ang ating mga viral videos at pop culture sa mundo ng palakasan sa Stop and Pop. Sabi nga nila, ito pong video natin, sabi nga nila, sometimes you don't have to work hard. You just gotta play smarter. Ayan na, parang pang-ano natin to, pang-commercial natin. Parang itong tatay na to, panoorin natin to mga kapatid sa video. Chill na chill lamang siya na nakaupo habang nagbe-baseball yung kanyang mga chikiting. Pero para hindi na tumayo, ayun, nakatali yung bola sa isang fishing line para pwedeng ma-recover ang bola habang nakaupo. Abay, swerte at smart itong tatay na ito. At yan din po ang ating stop and pop moment. And we will take a break. Sa ating pong pagbabalik, ang patuloy po ng ating show ngayong Sabado sa Power and Play. At din sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng True Religion.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day. Plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice. Naswak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to Go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
At muli po nagbabalik ang Power and Play ngayong Sabado ng umaga. At syempre, wala pong Power and Play kung wala ang mga butihin nating mga tagapagtaguyod ng ating programa. Gusto po natin magpasalamat. Of course, una-unahin natin ang Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon, mga kapatid, iinit, uulan, lalamig, kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pang matagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum. Yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Cherry Tiggo 8 Pro. How neat it is to have a 7-seater SUV that has a powerful engine, world-class safety standards, and the latest tech features. Bet you didn't know that the all-new Cherry Tiggo 8 Pro has all these features and more at a very affordable price range. Cherry Tiggo 8 Pro is equipped with a 1.6 turbocharged gasoline direct injection engine, an advanced driver assistance system, and 12 other safety features, including autonomous emergency braking, forward collision warning, and traffic jam assist. The flagship Tiggo 8 Pro allows you more control of the wheel. What's great is you can also join the green revolution with Cherry Tiggo 8 Pro plug-in hybrid electric vehicle or PHEV. So book a test drive now via www.cherryauto.ph or visit a Cherry dealership near you. Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Subukan ang kanilang pinakabagong oven-roasted chicken na mas pinasarap dahil sa nag-uumapaw na flavorful chicken juice. Subukan din ang Chooks, the first dine-in restaurant ng Chooks to Go. Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. True religion is in the Philippines, where passion meets power. Experience it firsthand. For your best style choices, visit True Religion at Conrad S. Maison Mall of Asia Complex, Resorts World Manila, and Hacienda Designer Outlet, Silang, Cavite. Visit also their newest branch at Grand Wing, Newport City, Resorts World Manila. True Religion, where passion meets power. Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Book Joyride Motorcycle Taxi for the affordable, quality, and fast rides. Mga kasundo, first booking nyo, use promo code JRMC Taxi, 50% off on your first MC Taxi ride. Ano pang hinihintay nyo? Download the Joyride Super App on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Elms Seafood Paluto, the latest offering of the Elms Resto Bar Group, located at Unit 2 ground floor, Calle Bistro, Ever Commonwealth, Quezon City. Enjoy their delectable seafood menu in a relaxed, casual dining atmosphere for your salu-salu seafood meal. Elms Seafood Paluto. Skin, your face and body anti-aging center, with branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hills, San Juan. For your skin assessment and treatment schedule, please call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886. Asea Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. Asea Subic Beach Resort. Regrow. Choose Regrow Minoxidil and regrow your confidence with healthy scalp and healthy hair. Regrow Minoxidil is available in all Derm Clinic branches, leading drugstores, and department stores nationwide. You can also purchase Regrow Minoxidil on Lazada and Shopee. Just look for the Good Derma Shop and check out your trusted Regrow Minoxidil products. Like and follow our Facebook page at Regrow Minoxidil for promos and announcements. Regrow Minoxidil with Pre-Grow shampoo and conditioner. Regrow your confidence with healthy scalp and healthy hair. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live Smart. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga sponsors. At kasama na po natin ngayon ang mga players na napamahal na sa atin from a team that has become very close to the Filipinos' heart, the Bay Area Dragons, and we're very happy to have with us no other than their import, Andrew Nicholson, and of course the Asian import of the Bay Area Dragons, Sedrick Barefield. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in and joining us on Power and Play.
Thanks for having us.
It's really a pleasure for me to have the two of you. I've seen Andrew play, and of course Sedrick. I have watched your highlights, and we're looking forward, of course, to what you can do also in the league. But let me begin, of course, with a little bit of a light topic here. Andrew, I know that after that grueling finals in the Commissioner's Cup, you were given a bit of a break. Did you take that, and how did you spend it?
You mean the break after the finals? Yeah, I mean, it was great. I did a little trip to Bali. I've been to Bali before, and being on this side of the world, I had another opportunity to go and experience Bali again. So it was a great R&R, great rest and relaxation. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to get there.
Well, 5 months is a long time to be in the Philippines. So obviously, just getting out for a while and recharging is really a great opportunity. But how is your injury, by the way? We know that you weren't able to play in the finals because of that injury. How are you feeling? How is the injury now?
It's good. I mean, it's good. It's getting better. I'll be ready to go for the East Asian Super League. We have a great training staff, physiotherapists. So I've been rehabbing it pretty much daily. Just taking it easy, getting back to 100%. It was a pretty bad ankle injury, but I'm glad I'm able to still play now.
How was it, Andrew? How did it feel? How was it for you? Just to be sidelined and not to play in the finals in the last couple of games and see your team, get into Game 7 before that huge crowd and was outplayed by Ginebra. How was it for you?
I mean, it's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. It's an unfortunate injury that happened. Our team still did pretty well, getting to Game 7. We played 2 games without imports, and they still, got a win in one of the games. So I'm still proud of the team and how they, handled the adversity, and I'm glad that we were able to be in front of that crowd.
One of the things that you mentioned in some of your interviews is that you were able to accomplish what you came out to do in the PBA, and that's to get the team to grow and come together and really gel. But for you personally, how much learning did you pick up just by playing in the PBA and, of course, by playing in the finals?
I think I learned more about my teammates. I mean, that was the goal, because the PBA was essentially for us to be prepared for the East Asia Super League, which is coming up next week. So I was able to, understand their strengths and weaknesses, able to understand, my teammates better on and off the court. And it was a good opportunity. We're playing in an amazing country. I truly love the Philippines. I love being here. And, it was a blessing to be able to play in front of, so many fans.
Oh, yeah. And of course, it is also a blessing to have the Bay Area Dragons play in the PBA. Sedrick, Sedi, let me ask you, before anything about your stint with the Bay Area Dragons, there were reports that you were supposed to play in Taiwan, and you ended up playing in Dubai, of course, with a strong group, and and of course your Taiwan stint has been up in the air. Tell us what happened about in that particular instance, Sedi.
Yeah, so I went to Taiwan. I signed with the Fil-Am Braves as an Asian import. I was supposed to play in the East Asian Super League with them, and everything got pushed back. So I ended up not staying there with Fil-Am. Ended up going to the Tainan Ghost Hawks, and I didn't suit up for any games. So I wanted to be somewhere where I was playing. So Coach Charles gave me an opportunity to play in Dubai, and we talked about possibly joining Bay Area. So now I'm here.
So was that a contract buyout that you did with Taiwan, or did you request that you be released? Was that the case for you?
Yeah, it was a mutual agreement. Just the release was a mutual agreement.
All right. And we know that you played with the strong group in the 32nd Dubai International Championship. How was that experience? And how did it improve your game, do you think, Sedi?
It was fun, a lot of fun. I got to play with some great players, some young guys here in the Philippines that are up and coming. Ultimately, for me, I haven't played a lot of basketball in the last season or so. So my goal was just to try and find my rhythm, get my legs under me. Obviously, we wanted to win, but we went against a great team with Lebanon and those other teams. So we fell short of our goal, but ultimately I was just looking to get my rhythm back.
Now you're going to be the Asian import of the Bay Area Dragons. First of all, did you follow the Dragons during their stint in the PBA?
Absolutely. I try to watch as many games as I can. It was hard with the time difference and stuff, but definitely watched some games, followed the team's success, and, I watched the finals a little bit. So it was cool to just see how their season went.
And how has the reception been so far with the Bay Area Dragons now that you're part of the team as the Asian import?
It's been great. The guys have made it easy for me to just come in and be myself. And the brand of basketball that Coach preaches is just, one that helps us all fit in well, helps us all just, gel, share the ball, and focus on defense. So I just try to come in and do the best that I can.
Your first impressions about the team, and of course, the role that you think you can play and how you can contribute to the Dragons.
Well, obviously they've been through a whole season already. They've been playing a winning brand of basketball. Very well coached, got a lot of good players. So for me, I just try to fit in with what they're trying to do on the defensive end, and just, do what I can to impact winning.
Andrew, you're finally going to get to play with Miles Powell in an official game, and of course on the court at the same time. You did mention in one of your interviews that the handcuffs have been removed, and obviously this tandem will become a potent force. But do you think that you will appreciate playing with Miles more now that you have experienced, the PBA rules where you were not allowed to play together? Do you appreciate your tandem now with Miles even more, that now you're going to be allowed to play together?
Yeah, we complement each other a lot, on the floor. We both put up, really big numbers. We both know how to play the game. Our two-man game is very scary, so we're able to now, show everyone how we can, do that on the offensive end as well too. Defensively, I think we're going to be great. We definitely cover for each other, and everyone on the team as well too. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting to be able to, finally, play at full capacity because, as I said before, we were playing in handcuffs, but now we're able to play at full capacity. So excited to see that.
How does the game of the Dragons change with the two of you together? Particularly if you compare it to the way you played in the PBA.
We still have the same mindset, sharing the ball, getting the ball in the right spot to the right people. Defensively, we cover for each other. Nothing really changes. It's just that now we have two, really strong offensive threats that are going to be able to help us on that end. So for us to now win this thing, we have to focus on continuing to be strong on the defensive end too, because we know we're going to score.
All right. Sedi, you've seen the combo of Andrew and Miles. How tough, how potent is this combination?
It's extremely potent. Really, you just got to pick your poison. Both guys can put up numbers. Very hard to stop one-on-one. And when they're in that two-man game, no decision is the right decision. So, like Andrew said, it's just going to be a matter of us focusing on defense, getting stops, and, hanging our hat on the defensive end.
You've seen Andrew up close and personal in practices. What do you like about the NBA veteran?
You can't guard him. The guy's a machine. If it's a one-on-one matchup in the post, it's a bucket. If he's popping for a three, it's a bucket. I don't think I saw him miss a shot all week last week. Just excited to be out there with a great player.
All right. Well, you're playing in the East Asia Super League, and this is a league that will combine teams from all over the region, from the Philippines to Japan to China and other countries. let me ask you. Let me ask the two of you. Do you like the concept, Andrew, of the EASL?
I think it's great. I actually heard about this league many, many years ago, and I was really excited when it was told to me. It's a great concept having the top teams from every respective Asian country to come together and have a tournament. I think it'll definitely bring a lot of countries together. It'll definitely enhance the brand of basketball out here, and it's going to be a great stage. It's going to be good. I'm really excited to be a part of it from first year. So I told the guy who told me when this is going to happen, like when it happens, sign me up. And I'm glad to be, a part of the East Asia Super League team of the Bay Area Dragons.
And obviously, when that ball is tossed for the first time, and you're part of that, I mean, it's just a tremendous legacy also for you. Seri, as a Filipino player, as a Fil-American, now from your perspective, another league comes up in the region. How does that appeal to you, and what does that do for your future and your career?
Oh, it's a blessing. Definitely a blessing to be on this side with the Bay Area Dragons, and I'm just soaking it all in, trying to make the most of the opportunity, and we're just going to try to go out there and win. I think winning handles everything. So as long as we just stay focused, I think the sky's the limit.
It is a short format, though, Andrew. It's a short tournament. It's just a week, and there's really no room for any kind of mistake. Do you like the format? And what do you think will be the key to winning in a format like this?
I mean, it's the first year, so yeah, I guess this is how the format is going to be dealt with us. The key of winning is, like I said, is playing defense, honestly. Playing to your strengths. Our strength, we already know our strength is on offense. We can't be stopped in any shape or form, so we have to be able to guard. If we're able to guard, I think we're going to be in great shape.
All right. Seri, have you checked out the teams that are going to be playing in the EASL? You're facing some really tough teams and a lot of imports, a lot of foreign players coming in. Have you checked out any of them, and who do you like?
As a team, we've been just preparing for the first game, just watching film. So, haven't been able to look too far ahead. Just looking straight at our first matchup, and just going to try to handle business that first game.
All right. Well, Andrew, I know that you maybe the entire Bay Area Dragons would have wanted another crack at Ginebra, but unfortunately, they will not be in the ASL. It will be San Miguel and Talk and Text that will be representing the Philippines. But still, these are tough teams. You remember playing against them. What concerns you the most with these two teams, Andrew?
Actually, I didn't get to play against TNT, so San Miguel's. It's a tough team. It was a really, really tough series. They have really talented players. They had some size to them as well too. I think we just need to, if we do. Well, actually, they're not in our bracket, but if we do match up with them, we just got to do what we did last time. Just hang our hat on the defensive end and continue to, pull for each other.
Well, a couple of big name imports are also going to be playing with these teams, and obviously now. TNT is playing with Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Your thoughts about that, Andrew?
With Rondé, I actually he was my old teammate when I was in Brooklyn, so I'm very familiar with him. I saw that they brought him out here. Very talented player. I think he was in Korea just recently as well too. So it'll be good for if we do see each other, because with the brackets, I'm not sure. We're not matched up with.
You're not.
San Miguel, well.
But it should be an interesting matchup in case you meet down the road, and of course in the finals. Sedrick, there are speculations that you will enter the PBA. Of course, I will ask you about that a little later. But how significant is this chance to play against PBA teams if ever you do match up against them, or at least showcase your talent before these teams?
It's important, but. I think the most important thing is just making sure that I show up for my teammates day in and day out, and do what I can to help us win this tournament. Whatever comes after that, I'll be grateful for, as long as I can say that I gave it all I had. and I'll let the chips fall where they may after that.
People are asking, of course, about your roots. Your mother is Filipina. Where do you trace your roots in the Philippines, Sedrick?
My grandparents are from Batangas, so
Batangas. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you have family that you visit here in the Philippines?
Yeah, absolutely. I was with my grandfather today. We went to lunch. I was with my auntie and some cousins. So, yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Did you grow up in a Filipino home? I mean, were there Filipino traditions that you followed, Sedrick?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit, of course. I mean, my mom's Filipino and, my grandparents were around. So, yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm sure, Andrew, having stayed in the Philippines for over 5 months now, I mean, you're beginning to see the Filipino way of life. What do you like most about staying in the Philippines?
I mean, I'm very familiar with Filipino culture. I actually own 2 Filipino restaurants back in Toronto. My business partner,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
He's from Iloilo, so he kind of brought me into the culture while I was up in Toronto.
Oh, that's new. Oh, terrific.
Yeah. So being out here, it's been amazing. The food's amazing, the people are amazing, the weather's amazing. It's going to be sad to leave here. I know I've been here for 5 months. I wish it was longer, but I'll definitely come back here for a visit. I made a lot of friends here, a lot of fans here, and I'll miss them dearly. But I am looking forward to coming back here just to see everyone again after we leave.
Knowing this now that you own a restaurant with an Iloilo partner, I mean, a person from Iloilo, what kind of food do you serve? And what particular food do you like in your menu?
Yeah, so he franchises Max's. So I opened
okay.
I opened the Max's with him, and we actually rebranded that Max's to Crane Kitchen. So we do it's more of an Asian fusion, but with a Filipino twist to it. And then we have a Filipino bakery called Crane Express as well too. So we sell halo, ube cookies, pandan, all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you tried that? In the Philippines. I mean, the original version. Have you tried your halo here?
I'll be honest with you, it's not the most healthy, so I don't really eat it as much. But I have seen it out here. I have tried it at home. Not a lot, but I have tried it at home. But it's definitely one of our best sellers.
It's not the right season to eat it because it's still a little cooler. I mean, in terms of the Filipinos. But when you get to the summertime here, and that's when the halo really becomes so popular. Let me ask you guys. Sedrick, you are preparing for the EASL. I understand that you have played with some teams, including De La Salle University, and is it true that you played with a foreign university, Santo University? Is that right?
We played in some friendly scrimmages. De La Salle was one of them. Yeah. So,
how was that? How was that experience?
It's been good, man. I think for us, we're just testing the integrity of our team, the where we stand defensively, and just trying to build habits throughout those games. So obviously they got some young players, and I think we did a good job.
The obvious and logical question is, what's next after the EASL? I'll start with you, Sedrick. What's next for you after the EASL? And the question is, are you entering the PBA draft?
I'm not sure yet. I think that the EASL for me and for our team is a big opportunity. A lot of people are going to be watching, so I haven't made my mind up on anything. Just trying to get it done, just trying to win.
So there's nothing after the ASL right now? Are you playing with any other foreign teams or any other league that you can see in your schedule?
As of now, no, not yet.
No. All right. Andrew, same thing before I let you go. What's next for you? I know it's been a long tour of duty for you in Asia, as well as for the Bay Area Dragons. What's next for you?
For me, it's just back to business. I am an entrepreneur back home. I do have 6 businesses back home that I need to attend to. My business partner and I, we've been doing this for a very long time. So he holds the fort down while I'm gone. So I'm just going to go back home and help run everything, and then wait until the next season.
Is a return trip to the PBA in the horizon, Andrew, if the Bay Area Dragons, or, you know, I guess the better way to ask it is, would you want the Bay Area Dragons back in the PBA?
Honestly, wherever the Bay Area Dragons go, I think I'll go, because I've had the best. This is one of the funnest, best seasons that I've had in all my 11 years of playing. You know, so they get first dibs.
And that's a good way to end that, because obviously a lot of Filipinos are looking forward to seeing, you know, the kind of professionalism that you've shown, the kind of game that you have displayed, and of course the way you have handled yourself throughout your stay here in the Philippines. And you know, I salute you and I thank you for showing that to all of us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on Power and Play. We look forward to the next interview with you. Thank you so much and have a good day.
All right, no problem. See you guys.
Have a good one. See you.
All right, bye.
At muli nagpapasalamat po tayo sa ating mga bisita, si Andrew Nicholson at si Sedrick Barefield, ang bagong player ng Bay Area Dragons. Alam niyo po, talaga naman napakaganda ng ipinakita nila. Alam mo, kung bawat foreign team na maglalaro dito sa atin, sa PBA, ganyan. Ako, I don't mind na magkaroon tayo ng foreign team taon-taon doon po sa Commissioner's Cup. In fact, that should be the ideal para naiiba yung putahe ba? Nakita nyo naman ng nanood ng finals, napakataas, 54,000 plus. And I understand na ang mga nanood sa China ay napakalaki din ang viewership natin doon. So again, this is how the way to grow the PBA. Sana nga ay magkaroon pa tayo ng ganong klaseng mga kupunan at ganyang klaseng player katulad ni Andrew Nicholson. We now go to our final interview. And this is where we put the spotlight on one personality na talagang magbadala po ng bandila ng Pilipinas. Siya ay 15 anyos pa lamang. Subalit siya po ang ating magiging pambato sa Winter Youth Olympic Games sa Bangon, South Korea next year. Lagay po natin sa spotlight, in the spotlight, ang ating celebrity athlete. Ang ating pong atleta na ilalagay ngayon sa spotlight ay ang ating 15-year-old wonder kid ng speed skating na lalaban sa 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games. Siya po ay ating nakapanayam. Ito po, si Peter Groseclose. And as promised, we have with us our first bet for the Winter Youth Olympics in a long, long time. No other than Peter Joseph Groseclose. Thank you for joining us on the show. Good day, Peter.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You know, it's so nice and refreshing to see somebody as young as you on the show. Again, congratulations on making it to the Winter Youth Olympics that will happen in South Korea. You know, they say, and let me start with this. No, they say that it's harder and there are lesser chances to make it to the Youth Olympics because you're only young ones rather than in the actual Olympics or the Winter Olympics. So how significant is this for you, just qualifying for South Korea?
Well, it's been my goal for a very long time. And what you said about the age being very selective is very true. I know people who have like the ability to make it, but they're just a little too old or a little too young. And so I'm just so honored that I'm able to compete.
You are only the third Filipino to qualify in the Winter Youth Olympics. And of course, the first one was Michael Martinez back in 2012. And then there was Julian Macaraig in the 2020 edition in Switzerland. So you are the third person. So a lot of people want to ask, you know, how Filipino are you? So first of all, where do you trace your roots in the Philippines?
Well, my mom is Filipino, and I have a lot of family in Alabang and Manila. And so, I love them, and I have a very good relationship with them.
Are you in the Philippines often? Have you visited?
Yeah, I visited. I'm actually going this summer to, you know, meet with my family and to actually meet some of the skaters over there.
Wow, terrific. Let me ask you, how many are you in the family? How many siblings do you have?
I only have one,
Uh-huh.
a sister.
Is she a skater as well?
She's a figure skater, yeah, which kind of is the reason I started skating.
All right. What's the name of your sister, Peter?
Her name's Jackie.
Jackie. All right. How much how much in Peter Joseph is the Filipino? For instance, do you have traditions that you celebrate in your own home in Washington?
I don't know. It's yeah, I'd say I used to live in California, and there's much more Filipinos there, but still, like with my family, I'm still eating a lot of Filipino food, and there's still good Filipino restaurants and markets here.
Do they speak Filipino in your house?
A little bit. My Tagalog is not so good, but my mom speaks.
Your mom is she traces her roots just in Manila. Is that it, or do you have a province in the Philippines that you go to?
It's mostly just Manila.
It's just in Manila, and I read somewhere that you played the guitar. Tell us a little bit about this. Is that the way you while your time away while you're away from the skating rink?
Yeah, I'd say I definitely practice my guitar the most when it's the off season and I'm not skating as much.
And is this classical guitar, or is this pop? Is this electric? Rock? What kind of music do you play, Peter?
Yeah. Well, it's really just whatever I feel like playing. But lately I've been kind of getting into jazz.
Terrific. All right. I also read that you are you like physics. Is that something that you plan to do in the future?
Yeah, well, I'll try. It's some of the concepts are so hard to understand, but yeah, I'll try to pursue it when I'm older.
Does that mean you are you going to be a doctor? Are you going to be a professor? What do you want to do when you finish college?
Well, yeah, a physicist would be like such a great experience for me. What they study is just so interesting.
Right. All right. And you dabble in drawing? Is that true? I mean, do you like art as well?
Yeah. Yeah. I mostly just draw people, but lately, like a little bit of buildings, and yeah, I wish I could say I was better.
So does that mean you're going to be a physicist architect or something like that, Peter?
Well, that'd be really cool. But
that'll really be cool indeed. Yeah, that's true. And you got a long way to decide which one you want to take. But in the meantime, you're into speed skating. You're going to be in the Olympics. You're going to be an Olympian. I read that you took up the sport at the age of 7 in Lakewood, California. All right, who introduced you to the sport itself, to speed skating?
Well, when my sister was figure skating, I was friends with one of her friend's brothers, and he did speed skating, and I just thought it was the coolest thing, and so like he kind of inspired me to try it out.
So it was your sister's friend. In terms of formal training, who was your first coach?
Her name was Wilma, and she like has a history of coaching, but I was so young and not good that she didn't really pay attention to me.
Really? And so you changed coach? Somebody picked you up? What happened to you after that?
Yeah. Well, this was in California, and I moved to the other side of the country, and where I am now. And my current coach is Simon Cho, and who coached me at Junior Worlds. His name is Jimmy Jang, and yeah, they've been really great coaches for me, and they've been giving me great advice and great training.
Excellent. You mentioned in one of in that bio that I read that you think that speed is very appealing. Those were your words, appealing. Why do you think so?
Well,
What kind of feeling do you get out of it?
I don't know, just going that fast. It's such a cool experience, and especially when you're gliding. Like, I don't know. It's just it's like, and it's the race. It's easy to understand too. It's like you can tell who wins, and so I just think it's a great sport for anyone to watch or to play in.
Are there any other sports or interests that you have that factor speed in? You know, are you into, you know, skateboarding? Are you into any kind of other sport that sort of also sees speed as an important factor?
Mm-hmm. Well, the only sport I'm doing right now is speed skating. But when I was younger, I was also really into track. And I was definitely a sprinter, so I guess I've always just loved to go fast.
yeah. Clearly, this is something that you know has been inculcated in you for a very long time. And you know, do you is it hard? I mean, I guess that's a simple question. How difficult is it to be a speed skater?
Well, it's very hard. Like the training and just the workouts are pretty intense, but also just how much strategy goes into each race, especially now that the sport has been around for a little bit now. Yeah.
Well, I will get to that. I'll ask you about your training, but right now, who do you credit your skills? Who honed your skills that has made you very competitive? Of course, you mentioned your coaches, but the foundations of that, where did you really get it? Was it really your coaches now, the current coaches?
Yeah, they've been my coaches for a while. And also just my competition as well. Like, just having them around me and skating with them, it's a huge motivation and to skate well. And, you know, they're my competitors, but they're also my friends. And I'm very inspired by them.
Wow. That's good to have to have in your team. You know, when you have friends in your team who you also consider as mentors and coaches. You know, I want to ask you, because you represent the country, and obviously the Philippines does not have a winter season. It does not have snow. We do not have any kind of cold weather here outside of a little bit of the mountaintops. But do you get strange looks when you go around in competitions and you say that you represent a tropical country like the Philippines?
Not really. I mean, there are other Southeast Asian countries there that are speed skaters, and they skate well. So, I don't feel so out of place.
All right. And obviously, there's always a sense of being an underdog, because people don't really think that Filipinos or even Fil-Americans would be able to really get as good as you are now in speed skating. You are going to compete in the 500, in the 1,000, in the 1,500. So let me ask you, what do you think are the keys to becoming a great speed skater?
Yeah, well, since the 500 and the 1,000 and the 15 are the only distances that you can skate, you kind of have to be like a pretty well-rounded skater in order to do well. You have to have good endurance and at least an okay sprinting speed, and just keeping in mind like all the strategies and like predicting what your other skaters might do to pass you or to make you tired.
What do you do to gain that speed? I know I was an athlete in the past, and I know a lot of sprinters have very strong legs. How do you develop that? What is a typical training day for you?
Yeah, well, I'd say strong legs are also extremely important for speed skaters. For that, I've been doing weight training, like leg press and squats, and also just the act of skating, just doing laps, whether it's endurance or speed training, it really activates those muscles.
So what's a typical training day for you, Peter? How long do you train in a day?
Well, right now I'd say a typical training day is 3 hours, starting with the skating session and then ending with a dry land session, which will be maybe running or squats or something like that. But in the summer, I actually end up training closer to twice a day.
So do you plan to bump up your training as you move closer to Gangwon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Especially in the off season, I'll try to do more dry land and weight training, and also in the summer, I'll try to skate as much as I can.
All right. When you look at your current performance, even in the qualifiers in the ISU Junior World Speed Skating Championships and the other places, the other competitions that you've been, what do you think are the areas of improvement in your own particular game, in your own particular style that you want to do as you prepare for the Winter Youth Olympics?
Well, as I just watched how the other skaters skated, not only in how strong they were, but just how they strategized themselves. I was just so impressed, and my first World Cup, I just felt like, and I still do, that there's some of these people there's on another level, and I think I can definitely improve in not only my strength, but also just how I position myself in racing. But I can say I've been getting better.
But in terms of your own assessment of yourself, what is the strongest point of your, I guess, of your skills in terms of your qualities? What do you think is the strongest factor that gives you a lot of hope and confidence that you can do well?
Well, my favorite distance, and I'd also say my best distance, is the 500 meters, which is just a full-out sprint. And my start, just off the line, it's very fast. It's probably the one aspect that I can actually compete with the best of the best.
Well, that's good to know, and we're really looking forward to seeing that kind of performance. Of course, I understand that it was a little bit of a quirky situation just getting to the qualifiers, but you're there and you're going to be competing in South Korea. Peter, you also mentioned in your bio that the most influential people in your life, and I guess in your career as a skater, are your parents. In what way, what role do they play? Maybe not only as your parents, but I guess as people who influence you in your performance.
Well, they've just been so encouraging for me, especially now that I'm getting to higher level competitions, and they've just dedicated so much time and effort so I can do this sport, and I just appreciate it so much, and I could not do it without my family's help.
Are they skaters as well?
No, not really. I mean, they've kind of tried skating,
right,
but it's just because my sister and I have done it.
All right. Well, you are, of course, moving on. There are a lot of things that will happen from now until Gangwon in 2024. What do you think is the biggest challenge for you starting now until 2024?
I'd just say the biggest challenge is just really trying to keep my mental composure and just trying to get my strength on a level closer to my competitors, which will be closer because it's Youth Olympics, so more people closer to my age. But it's all just, especially at the race, it can be so nerve-wracking. And so I think just getting a better hold of my mental state can be really helpful. But I have been getting better, I'd say.
In terms of your physical conditioning, is that a concern? Have you been injured at all in your entire career as a young skater, Peter?
Yeah, I have been injured. I actually have gotten 2 concussions from when I was young. This was a while ago, but yeah, I have had injuries. But yeah, I'd say my physical abilities have been improving, especially since I've been skating against such impressive skaters. So I'm excited to see how I can skate next year at the Youth Olympics.
What is the biggest? Obviously, you want to win a medal. You want to go into the podium, and I read that, of course, your ultimate dream is to make it to the Winter Olympics as a regular member. So, what is the plan? What is your plan? What do you think that you must do to get there?
Well, I'm going to continue skating the competitions I have been, like World Cup and Junior Worlds, until I can.
Right.
And I think that will be a good assessment of how I compare to Olympians. Yeah, I can say that even in this year alone, like the more competitions I've done, the more, the better I've competed. And so just by the time of the Olympics, I think I can just skate extremely well, or I hope. But
have you gotten any kind of advice from, your peers, from people who've been there outside of your coaches, other skaters, Michael Martinez, for instance, or even Julian Macarig, or the other Filipino skaters? Have you gotten any kind of tips from them?
Yeah, I've been talking a lot with Julian, especially throughout this process, and I talked with him about Youth Olympics, and he also made it. So, and he was in a very similar position to me, and yeah, he just said, like, to make it, you just have to, like, how to strategize yourself, like you want to make it out of the first round or so. And so I think just seeing that he could do it, and his words, it really inspired me, and I think it did help me to qualify.
That's terrific. That's great. You really need that kind of support, and you have our support from the Philippines. Obviously, you will be skating for flag and country, so we are very excited for you. Peter, I have a couple of questions before I let you go. First of all, obviously, to get to the top, to get to a place where you are successful, sacrifices will have to be made. What kind of sacrifices are you willing to make at your very young age, Peter?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm sacrificing a lot of time, especially because I'm still a student and I have to do like homework and study for tests. And yeah, I mean, there's been so many times where like friends have asked me to hang out and I just couldn't because I have practice or I have to study or I have competitions. And so these are just the kind of sacrifices I've been making for a while now. But I feel like it's worth it if I can, meet my goals.
Absolutely. At this point, you're starting to make your goals. So absolutely, all of these sacrifices are now bearing fruit. And, before I let you go, my final question, when I looked at your bio, there was a question about your sporting philosophy. And you said, and I quote, your sporting philosophy is, quote, the man who says he can is the same as the man who says he cannot. Are both correct? Sorry. Yeah. Let me say that again. The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct. Is that right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
What do you mean by this, and how does it apply to your life?
Yeah. Well, it's actually a quote by Confucius, and I just think that if you doubt yourself, then and just feel like you can't do something, then you've already determined how that if you can do it. I just think having confidence and belief in yourself is just so important.
Well, for a young man like you, beaming with confidence and being so calm and yet so focused on what you want to do, it is impressive. And I'm very happy to have talked to you, Peter. We look forward to your performance in 2024, and the whole Philippines will be supporting you. Peter, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
At yan po si Peter Groseclose. Of course, mga kapatid, again, aabangan po natin ang kanyang performance. Ang talino and of course, very sharp, very focused sa kanyang gustong gawin. We certainly hope the best for him. Again, pambato po natin next year yan sa Winter Youth Olympic Games. Bago tayo magtapos, ngayong Sabado po, gusto ko lang pong ibigay ang mga pangalan ng mga nanalo sa ating Joyride Super App Top Up promo sa Power and Play. Ito po ang ating mga pangalan, ang nanalo ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Si Allen Riambilio, Marichu Esquadra, Tony Cabigting, Felix Pinto at si Alvin Villafuerte. Maraming salamat. Congratulations. You have won 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits from Joyride. Pwede nyo pong gamitin sa motorcycle taxi, sa delivery, and of course, sa Joyride car. Alright, mga kapatid, that'll do it for us this Saturday morning. Again, nagpapasalamat po kami sa lahat sa inyo na tumangkilip sa atin muli. Magsama-sama ulit tayo next week. At lagi po natin sinasabi tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit. At sa lahat po ng ating gawain, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH Teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inay ko po. Happy Sports Weekend mga kapatid! More power, more play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, Syempre, Sibay, Lakay, Manigan. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko Pilipino. Pilipino, yan ang Pinoy.
Sa iisang